is not my board. My board is typically on the other side, but I did wrote it down over there. For the first time in like a week and a half now, we do have homework.
Yes.
And here's why we have homework, right?
Yes.
Yes, right, yes. Here's why we have homework. You know, I rarely give you homework. When I give you homework, it matters. The topic that we're learning today, it's going to come up on the quiz, it's going to come up on the test, it's going to come up on the common assessment, it's going to come up on the STAR. It's going to be one of the main topics of the entire year. So, I want to make sure that we get enough practice with this, okay? You know that I'm not just going to give you homework just to give you more time. And in the end, if we got those extra 5-10 minutes, you know I'm going to give it to you in order to do the homework. So, let's go ahead and let's take a look at our notes. Let's take a look at our notes. Here. Who's feeling with a lot of energy right now? Who's feeling with, besides Armando? Who else? Me. So I know, all right, Ryan. Gretel, you feeling with a lot of energy? All right, Gretel's going to help us out. You're going to read the first key point. Gretel, help us out.
Rate of change, slope, how the independent variable changes as the independent variable.
Awesome. Here's the very first thing we're going to want to do. Right on top of rate of change and slope, let's write those words again, but interchangeably. You're going to see what I'm talking about. We're going to write rate of change. And I don't know what it's called, but I'm going to draw arrows pointing both ways, meaning this way and that way with slope. Here's why. Rate of change and slope is going to be the same thing. Think about, this is my pen. What color is it?
Red.
Red. How about in Spanish?
No.
Is it exact same thing, right? One of them is in English, one of them is in Spanish. If I'm speaking to Marcos, I know he understands both of them. So I can tell him, hey, this is red or this is rojo. I know he's going to understand me. To all of us, we're all going to understand, hey, rate of change, same thing as slope. If they say slope, they mean rate of change. If they say rate of change, they mean slope. Okay, so then we're going to want to underline dependent variable. Let's underline that. Quickly, and I'm not expecting absolutely everybody, I'm just expecting maybe a few of us to remember. Which one was the dependent variable? Which one depended on what? Which one depended? Did the x depend on y, or did the y depend on x? Y. So below dependent, we're going to draw a y. We're going to draw a y.
Y-axis.
And the independent variable, that means that one is the? So we're going to put an x under it. All right. I'm going to explain it in two ways, this one. The very first one is going to be something that is going to be very useful for the easy ones. What do I mean by the easy one? If you're going to be dealing with numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, -1, -2, -3, the short numbers. The first one is going to call, and you're very familiar with it, rise over run. So we're going to say slope equals rise over run. Rise over run. Jorge, I want to hear from you. Whenever you wake up, what is the very first thing you do in the morning? You're in your bed. What do? You look at the ceiling, and then? And then what? Stare at it? Stare at it. Okay, and then? And go to the, okay. Cool. Somebody else that doesn't follow that routine. From bed, what do? You get up, right? How do you call that? Okay, here. Whenever you think of the word rise, most of us associate it with getting up, right? Moving up. Here. Whenever I'm going to use it here for slope, it's not only going to be up. It's going to be up and down. So by rise doesn't mean that you're always going to go up. By rise, they just want you to remember, hey, it's up and down. Up and down. Okay? By run, I hope that all of us at some point in our lives went up to someone and kicked them a little and then ran away. When you run from left to right. You run horizontally. So whenever we run in our graph, we're going to be looking from left to right. So on our papers, here, let's go ahead and do it on our right side over here. Let's click rise over run. Let's click, let's write rise over run. Rise over run. And I made you the favor. I wrote down these first points already. 0, 4 and 2, 0. Here, you have an idea? of what we're going to do, Amanda? Good. So that's gonna come up next. On this one, I'm gonna start at 0, 4. Okay, you guys tell me, am I gonna move up or down to get to my other point?
No.
Down, okay. If I move down, is that gonna be a positive thing or a negative? Negative. So instead of my rise, am I gonna put a positive 4
No, no.
or a negative 4?
Negative.
I don't know. Which one?
Negative.
All right, let's put negative 4. And then my run, I'm going to move to my right side. I'm always going to run to the right side. This is how the graph works in equations. We're always going to be running to the right side. So from here, if I'm running, how many units do I need to run in order to catch my other point? 2. So at the bottom, we're going to put 2. And here, I need someone super smart. Negative 4 over 2. What is that? Negative 2. So we're going to simplify it. Negative 2. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? That is our answer. Give yourself a pat on the back. Be like, good job. We're starting the day off easy today. Right to the round. Here, that's going to be a recommended way of doing it whenever the graph is easy, whenever we have small numbers. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys. The next way, it's my preferred way. And I know that by the end of the year, it's going to be your preferred way too. I know that in coming years, it's going to be very important for you to know this way. So I would prefer if we just start just getting the habit of practicing this other way. And this one, yep, I'm already hearing it from several of you guys. Heard from Armando already, hearing it from Elias, Javier over there. And we're going to say y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Notice how the rise is still associated with up and down, with the y. And the run still associated with the x, left and right. Okay, the very first thing we're going to want to do, and if you want to put the steps on how to do it, I would do it on the back of my book first. Step number 1, all right, step number 1, label x1, y1, and x2, y2. Here's the magic to this. You can pick whichever one it is. Label x1, y1, and x2, y2. You can pick whichever one you want. I'm going to pick 0 and 4 as my x1, y1. x1, y1. And 2, 0 as my x2, y2. I know my formula. I'm like, duh, Mr. Contreras. I know that it's y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Now, here is where I'm a little afraid that we might go wrong. Here. On this one, I know we're all going to be able to recognize it, but this is going to be the training wheels for today. In the beginning, I want all of us to use it. We're going to use parentheses for each one. Meaning, instead of y2, let's go ahead and put a parentheses, and we're going to write inside what y2 is. y2 on this one is 0, so I'm going to write a 0. Minus parentheses y1, my y1 is 4. Over parentheses x2, which is 2, minus parentheses x1, which is 0. After we go through this example, I'm going to tell you why we're using the parentheses. That is not just another step, okay? So on this one, I am only going to get something relatively simple, 0 minus 4. There you go, right? 0 minus 4, negative 4. So we're going to put negative 4 up top. Now, 2 minus 0, 2. So I'm going to put a 2 at the bottom. Negative 4 over 2. What is that again? You said? Negative 2. Cool. Notice how we get the exact same answer. Negative 2 over here. Negative 2 over here. Here, I want us to start getting in the habit of this. Once you get your answer, let me know that's your answer. How? Let's go ahead and box it. So we're going to write slope, dot, dot, and my answer. So I'm going to say slope, dot, dot, negative 2. And then I know that's your slope. You know that's your slope, I know that's your slope. Nobody's confused. So whenever I'm grading it, or you're grading it, you're like, easy. All right. Now, A and B, we got 2 problems. Let's go ahead and work with our partners, both partners. We're going to go ahead and have 5.5 minutes. Let's go. Let's see if we can do it. I'm going to walk around, see in progress, okay? job. Here, do me a favor, double check this one for me. Double check your labeling, okay? Double check your labeling. Good job, Armando. After you finish that one, do me a favor and start seeing if everybody in your team is doing it right too, okay? What's up, brother? Yes, right now, you can do rice around. Yes, you can. Right now, yes. Yellow. How are you? Good job. Okay, do me a favor. Can you go? You already read the first one? Yes, and the second one. Can you go get all three answers, please? Here, the third one, I know the two are easy to get. The third one is right here in front of the board. Okay, thank you. How do I answer? Good job with the first one. -3 minus 3, -6. -2 minus 1, -3. What's -6 over -3? Negative over a negative? Positive. Good. I like how we label this one by 1. Let's do it by 2. Good job. You're going to get this right. 2. 2. Good job. Remember, y2. Which one is my y2 on this one? -3, right? Okay, so let's be careful. You see it? You see what I'm talking about? Good. But you did rice over run, and you were able to check, and you saw that, right? So whenever you do both, good job. ¿Qué pasa? A ver. -2 minus 0, good job. -2. Mira, what's -2 divided by 4? Calculate it. There you go, there you go. Now you're getting it. -6 over -3. What's 6 divided by 3? There you go. What's negative? I'm at -2, right? Good. 1, 2. If I subtract, am I going to go forward or backwards one? Backwards. So where am I going to be? What's going to be -6 over -3? So, you see how that's negative?
The fraction. The fraction part. Yeah, negative.
No.
Oh, okay. I got -6 and -3.
I'm at -3, right?
Positive 2.
Okay, if I go back 3, where am I going to be? Careful. I think esta también. Careful. Exactly where the number is. Here. Some of us are already experimenting. Quickly. Just like a 5-second break. Some of us are already experimenting. This is why we did the negative. I mean the parentheses. If something is a 4 and I'm subtracting a -4, what is going to be a negative? Positive. Positive. They're going to link up and it's going to be positive, right? 4 plus 4, 8. I'm seeing that mistake right now on number 2 as I'm coming around, so just be on the lookout for that. Let's keep going. So on this one, so minus a positive, they're just training rules, right? And if you feel comfortable enough without them, that's fine. But they're just like, in the beginning for us to get started. If you feel like, hey, I'm out of that, it's okay. Okay? Which one is showing you which is the y-axis?
I see my mistake.
So easy for you? Oh yeah. Easy peasy. Right? 0. -2.
Okay, I see what I did.
I see. On this one. See? Y1, yeah. Remember, this is y2 minus y1, which is -2. See? Just fix number 1. That's what we're using right now. Which one?
Intersect, okay, watch. Drawing out and the defender intercepts you. What do they do? Okay, so where are we coming from? That's where the line comes in contact.
Minus 3, what is that? 1 minus 2 minus negative 3. So 1 plus 2? All right. So, here, let's take a look at this real quick. I'm going to need some people to help out Mr. Contreras. He forgot the knowledge that he just taught. So I'm going to need some people to help me out. Jamal, here, quickly. Which one did you choose your x1 and y1?
X1 was 1.
Which one? This one? Okay, x1, y1. So the other one is x2, y2.
Right.
Help me out, Jamal. Whenever you put them over here in parentheses.
Negative 3.
Yep. Negative 3. Yep.
3. Positive 3.
Yep. Minus positive 3. And then
Negative 2 minus 1.
negative 2. Yeah. Minus
Positive 1.
positive 1. Awesome. Well done, Jamal. On this one. Negative 3 minus 3. Negative 3 minus 3. Here. Real quick. I know I promised I was going to put a number line back there to help us out. I just haven't had time, since they barely gave us the clearance to post out, to put it over there. But, negative 3. We start at negative 3. I saw like 3 or 4 of us have that issue. Always start out at that point, at negative 3. If I subtract, am I going to move back or forward? Back. So if I'm at negative 3, I'm moving more back. So negative 4, negative 5, negative 6. So negative 3 minus 3 is actually going to be negative 6. Negative 2, same thing. I start at negative 2. If I subtract, I'm moving more back. So negative 2 minus 1. Where am I now? Negative 3. Negative over a negative. Remember that little triangle? Ugly triangle by Mr. Contreras. Positive, negative, negative. Negative over a negative. What's my answer going to be?
Positive.
So negative 6 over negative 3, what's that going to be? 2. Here, with a quick show of hands. And I trust you guys. Who got positive 2? Good. That's good. That's working. All right, good job. Here, on this next one, I just want you to tell me what you put for y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, then your answer. I want to hear from, let me see, someone in a lot. Yes, a lot. Go, Elias, help me. What did you put for x2, y2? I mean, y2 minus y1. Let's listen to him. Let's listen, yeah?
Negative 2 minus 0.
Good job.
And then 2 minus negative 2.
Awesome. I love how you said minus negative. At the top, negative 2 minus 0, what did you get, Elias?
Negative 2.
And then at the bottom, 2 minus negative 2. Was there anything special there? What happened? They linked up, right? Negative, negative. What do they like to do? They like to marry each other, right? So then 2 plus 2, what's that?
Positive 4.
Negative 2 over 4. Can I simplify that, Elias? To what?
Negative 1/2.
Awesome. Negative 1/2. As I was going around, I was very pleased by the number of people who had both of them. Good job. Let's go ahead and turn to the next page. You got me? All right. Here, who else had a lot of energy? I know you look like you have a lot of energy internally, Joel. So you're going to read this one for me, okay? Son, this one. Linear function. Go. Loud and proud.
Linear functions can be written as a linear equation between two variables.
I know you're louder than that.
One form of a linear equation is slope, intercept form, and written as y equals mx plus b, where y is the
Blank variable. What was y? Independent or dependent? Dependent. So we're going to say y is the dependent variable. X is the independent variable. is the,
X-axis.
I lost half of you guys there. Here, M is going to be another way, and we can put it up there. M is going to be another way to mean slope. So M is the slope, and B is the y-intercept. Finally, the blank, the y-intercept, is where the line crosses the y-axis and is defined at the coordinate point 0, y. Here, that's a lot of words. But here, we're gonna break this down into 3 different steps. Number 1, number 2, number 3. In order to finish this problem, we gotta do all 3 steps. We're gonna start with step number 1. Step number 1 is gonna be what we just finished doing on the last page. Step number 1, let's find the slope. So in this one, my points are, and I'm gonna help you out, 0, 4, and 2, 0. The very first one, very first step, we're going to write it over here. We're going to try to find the slope. So, x1, y1 is going to be the very first point. And here's the magic about this. Here, I want to make sure because I don't think I was clear enough on the last one. You can always pick which point is which. This doesn't have to be x1, y1. If you want, this can be x1, y1. Or if you want, this can be x1, y1. You can pick. Me, just be me, Mr. Contreras, I always like to pick the point on the left. Okay? So I'm going to say x1, y1, x2, y2. Now I'm going to do y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So I'm going to do y2, which is 0, minus 4 over 2 minus 0. At the top, I get 0 minus 4. We know that one, negative 4. At the bottom, 2 minus 0. This is just 2. Negative 4 over 2, help me out. Negative 4 divided by 2, what does that get? Alright, here. We finished with our first step. That's always going to be step 1. Get the slope. Step number 2, which I'm afraid is going to be the easiest, yet the easiest to get wrong as well, is going to be finding our y-intercept. Y-intercept. Here. Y-intercept. What variables does that one have in it? The x or the y? Okay, as soon as you realize that, go ahead and put a line again through the y-axis.